Hooray! Let's get going. Just jumping into it. Okay, those of you that might be new today, welcome. I do this every Monday. I'm a yoga therapist and I enjoy sharing different breathing techniques with all of you, different meditations. So then you have something in your toolbox to self-soothe and not always depend on someone else to guide you through something. That can be something very easy to be dependent on, but very empowering if you have those tools yourself to find out what your meditation is. So I always start by mentioning this, but I liken meditations and breathing practices unto like a new food. So if I eat a strawberry and my body reacts by salivating to break it down and I enjoy the taste and I want more, you might eat that same strawberry or food and break out in hives or not like the taste and spit it out. So the same substance can have two completely different reactions. Breathing patterns and meditations are not very different from that. So I hesitate saying something as simple as inhale for 5 counts. I don't know your lung capacity. That might be really hard for you, or you could be able to inhale 8 counts or whatever. What breathing pattern can help me be calm and rested might actually create feelings of anxiety in you. So I hesitate saying this meditation or this breath work is going to do this, because then you'll think you're doing it wrong if you don't have that same reaction. So the reason why I share so many different things every week on Monday nights is so you can find out what your meditation is. So when you need it, you can take your meditation and find out what you respond the most to. So tonight is a dedicated gratitude meditation, which is a little more guided. Continue a complete breath the entire time. If we have a little bit of time at the end, we'll go through a little bit of a pattern. But for now, seated nice and comfortably. You can be lying down. You can be in a chair, wherever it is. You can be anywhere. If it's comfortable to close your eyes, go ahead and do that. When your eyes are closed, your brain registers what you feel rather than what you see. And I talk a lot about emotional health. It's hand in hand with mental health, and not all of us know the difference. There's a big difference with emotional health. And also like post-traumatic growth and just positivity and just trying to find that we all are hard. We all have things going on that it's important to know how to self-soothe. So closing your eyes can be very uncomfortable because it forces you to feel. It forces you to notice what's going on internally. If that's not something that you are feeling it right now, just gaze down to soften your eyelids and relax your eyes. There's nowhere you have to be, nothing you have to do. Whatever is comfortable for you in the moment. I like to begin by placing one hand on my chest, my heart, and one hand on my belly, and notice which hand I'm breathing into. We want to breathe into the bottom hand. Pushing breath down into the diaphragm tells our central nervous system to calm and relax. It minimizes the release of cortisol through the pituitary gland in your brain. So you could be doping yourself all day long with combating anxiety when you don't even need it. So if we're breathing quickly, if we're breathing just in the chest, that's actually telling our brain we're in panic mode, and you will continue to release cortisol or stress hormone when it's not needed. So push the breath down in the belly so you're filling the breath like a glass of water from the bottom to the top. Exhale from the top to the bottom. So you're filling completely and emptying completely. Don't take for granted the exhale. Sometimes we just talk about taking a deep breath. Take a deep exhale. Exhale completely to create more space for a deeper breath. So again, I'm not going to give you counts because your lung capacity is different than mine. Just fill completely. Breathe into the side lobes of the lungs like a fish's gills. Breathe into your back. Your lungs are cylinders. They're not just flat spaces in the chest. So again, initiating breath from the diaphragm. If that's all you change when you're feeling feelings of or symptoms of anxiety or stress, which are two different things, if you push breath down into the belly, you're honestly telling your central nervous system, that's all it takes, is telling your central nervous system to release and relax. Just by pushing the breath down. A few more deep breaths and we'll get going. This is the breath that you will maintain throughout our session today. Just a balanced, complete breath. Fill your lungs completely and empty completely. So focusing on gratitude, going into mindfulness first. Mindfulness, the difference between mindfulness and meditation, which many don't know, or we use it in the same sentence. Mindfulness is focusing on your senses externally, your surroundings, all your senses, what you touch, smell, see, feel. Meditation is when we start to focus on the breath internally. That's the difference. There's mindfulness, your senses, and meditation, focusing internally. So beginning with mindfulness, notice the temperature of the air against your skin. Gratitude for this amazing sensory that we have. Your arms can feel that. Your neck, your face, your legs can feel that. It's not just your hands that can feel. Notice the texture of your clothing against your skin, where it's tight, where it's loose. And quickly just going back to emotional health that I talk about a lot. Something as simple as uncomfortable clothing can actually change how you feel, not just physically, but emotionally. So notice all these things that we can do to comfort ourselves. I talk about hygge a lot, creating cozy, comfortable atmosphere and surroundings. That's with your body. So notice how your clothes feel. Notice how you're feeling. Now bring awareness to your sight. Gratitude for your eyes, your ability to see all the beautiful things that you see every day. Bring awareness to your ears, your ability to hear, and not just hear, but listen. Those are two different things. A nice cleansing breath that we've done before that we'll do maybe next week, now that I'm thinking about it, is the cleansing through the ears and up to the pituitary gland in the brain. So just even envision just breathing through your ears for a moment and cleansing this space as you bring awareness to gratitude for your ability to hear and listen. As you breathe through your nose, awareness of your nose. Gratitude for your ability to smell. All these senses that also alert us, that can bring safety and security, as well as memory and nostalgia. Imagine the comforts and gratitude we have for your favorite smells this time of year that evoke creativity, that wake up imagination and memory. Bring awareness to your lips, your tongue, your mouth, your throat, your jaw, your voice, your ability to speak and be heard, your ability to eat, kiss, now keeping with the gratitude outward, gratitude for your home. Let's start with material things. Your house, kitchen, bathroom, bedrooms. Gratitude for your car, transportation. bus, train, whatever it is that enables you to get from place to place. Gratitude for your clothing. And start to focus on relationships. Obvious things that we think about being grateful for. Maybe it's not so obvious, but sometimes we hear a lot, or we think quite often, of gratitude for your family. Whatever that looks like to you. Whatever your family looks like. Every family is beautiful. There's no one way to look at or view a family, or to define a family. So whatever that means to you, bring gratitude to your family, for your family. Relationships you have at work, co-workers, your boss, people that may work for you, your neighbors and the people in your community that help support, or that you help support them. The collective effort that goes on to create that sense of community. And even people you don't know. I don't like to say strangers. Just people you don't know. The people that made your clothing. The people that work in a power plant or water treatment center that provide these luxuries that we have of running water, clean water, and electricity. Think of the people that help provide that for you. How often do we say thank you to people, especially those we don't know? How often do we verbalize our gratitude? Even seeking someone out through a text or a phone call and telling them what you're grateful for, what they have done for you. Through hard times in life that we all have, it looks different for everyone. The more gratitude you can show for the littlest things, but especially someone else, when you step out of yourself and have gratitude for someone else, that can help alleviate some of the heavy off of you, because it helps you to recognize your life a little differently. To recognize the love that you have, the capacity you have to love. Now, coming into your body. If your eyes aren't closed, go ahead and close them, if that's comfortable for you. And notice where you feel gratitude. Whether that's your heart, your belly, in your center, in your shoulders, in your head, whatever that could be. If you feel comfortable, maybe place a hand on that space where you're feeling gratitude. That space in your body that tells your brain what you're feeling. If your body could speak, what would it say? What would you write down? Do you allow it to speak? Now really pay attention to yourself, perhaps with your hands on your heart or your belly, and just feeling the space of gratitude, of the qualities that you have. It can be so easy to pick at things that we wish we were, or qualities that we wish we had, instead of radiating and really focusing on the qualities that you do have. What are your talents? What is something that you love? Even if it's just one thing, what is something that you love about yourself that is unique to you that you can be grateful for? For a moment, just look at your hands Feel your hands, massage your hands, even your feet. I do this in yoga classes a lot, depending on the pose we're in, specifically a seated pose. Just rub your feet or just notice your feet. I get that some people don't like touching their feet, whatever. But just these spaces, your hands and your feet, just think about what they do for you every single day and what it would look like to spend a day without them. Gratitude for your hands and your feet and your beautiful body. Your ability to move, your ability to hug, your ability to get from place to place. Sometimes when I get an ache or pain, and of course that can be uncomfortable, no one likes to be injured, but it makes me remember that worked really hard. That space at my shoulder, my knee, that space in my body has been working really hard. I'm going to take care of that space. I have gratitude for that space. So lastly, focusing on your body, inside and out, emotionally, physically, mentally. And again, I talk a lot about emotional health and what that looks like, different from mental health. Okay, they both go hand in hand. But I dare say we spend a lot of time in our lives saying, I'll feel better when. I'll be happier if. When we all know, or hopefully you don't yet, that 10 years from now, you will look back and regret not taking advantage of the health and strength that you had when at that time you were wishing you were somewhere else. You were possibly saying, I'll feel better when, I'll feel happier if. Feel good right now in the space that you're in. Have gratitude for this beautiful body, this capable body that you have, rather than potentially wishing it looked or felt different. Because one day, heaven forbid, you have part of that taken from you. Gratitude for the way your body functions. If it's comfortable for you, place your hands on your heart. I like to actually end in a hug. I really do this. I hug myself every day. Sometimes it's really hard to do because I don't feel like it. But hugging and smiling changes your emotional content and changes how you feel. We can get too caught up in waiting for someone else to make us feel better. It starts with us. We are responsible for helping others to feel better by starting with that love within ourselves. So give yourself a hug for a moment. Close your eyes and really mean it. Give yourself a hug. Breathe into this space. And check in versus checking out. Checking out's easy. Setting things aside for later, not dealing with it. Checking in is where the work begins. So really notice how you feel, where you feel it, and what it is that you're feeling, if anything. Even validating the fact that feeling nothing is feeling something. What would you write down? You can stay there or rest your hands in your lap or wherever is comfortable. And just a few deep suspension breaths, 3 deep suspension breaths. Inhale from the belly all the way up to the top of the throat, even through the crown of the head. Filling lungs to full capacity like a balloon or a buoy floating in the water. Keep your throat open so you're not telling your brain's not registering that you're panicking. So I'll exaggerate this. What we don't want to do is and push the breath out. Keep the throat open and gently release. Inhale again from the diaphragm all the way up through the crown of the head. Filling the side lobes of the lungs, filling the back, filling the cylinders of the lungs. At the top of the breath, sip in one more time. Keep your throat open and flush it out. Once again, last time, slow cleansing breath. Envision the breath gliding through your body. Give it a tangibility. Maybe it's cool and light like bubbles percolating through your system. Maybe it's heavy and healing like a warm healing balm gliding through your bloodstream. Give it a tangibility. Sip in one more time. Keep the throat open. Flush it out. Cleanse it out. Roll the shoulders a little bit. Maybe roll your head. And just sit for a minute, again, checking in. Notice how you feel. There's always something to be grateful for. Keep it simple. Don't overwhelm yourself. Because there are days when you don't want to be grateful for anything. Or you just are not feeling like finding the joy. I get that. But get over yourself when that happens. Find the joy. Find one thing that you can be grateful for, and it will change your countenance. It will change your disposition. It will change your mood. And the more patient and loving we are with ourselves, the more patient and loving we can be with other people. And that could actually change someone's day. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for coming for yourself. Namaste. And have a beautiful night, and I will see you, hopefully I'll see you next week. Bye.